For a bit over a year now, I've been making long-form Rust Solo movies trying to chase that holy grail of Rust Solo content, and while doing so, I managed to hit 10,000 subscribers in the process. I've always liked the idea of doing major milestone videos, and with this being my first major milestone, I did exactly that. The original plan for this video was to do 8 straight days on a major US server at Forcewipe, but then someone sent me this screenshot. This is the registered wipe list for Rustoria SCA Long, and from what I've been told, it was shaping up to be one of the most insane wipes the server had ever seen. I changed my plan last minute and spent 8 long grueling days on this server, starting from scratch with no blueprints. Do you see this line? A 25-man Zerg. Well, one of them literally ends up being my direct neighbor, and I go to war with them for half of this wipe. Because this wipe was longer than usual, I've broken it up into 3 main chapters. Chapter 1 is Blueprints, quite self-explanatory. The goal is to try and complete the tech trees. Chapter 2 is Finding Home, where I look for a place to build my main base and then finally build it. And Chapter 3 is War, where I literally go to war with a 25 plus deep Zerg defending my new home. There'll be some little achievements along the way I'll tick off in each chapter to mark major progression milestones, but for now, I needed to get a start. I spawned in the second the server wiped and headed straight to my first objective. Hello all, we are back, but we are back for the 10,000 subscriber video. It's a small milestone, but it's important to me. It's something I've been looking forward to for a while now. And as promised, I'm doing a wipe that is double the normal length of my wipe. So I'm doing 8 days on Rustoria SCA Long. And for those of you unfamiliar with this server, it is a famous Zerg server. I'm talking there's probably going to be a Chinese Zerg on here of about 60 people. So we're going to have our hands full, and I'm sure in the intro to the video I've given a bit of an overview about this whole thing will work, but for now, to get started, I want to put 2 starter bases down. I want a starter base in the deep snow to claim some territory before it gets taken up by all the Zergs, and then I'm going to put a second starter next to a fishing village, which will turn into a fish farm and a normal farm, and that's how I'm going to get my blueprints. But we'll probably have to defend it as well. So let's get to it. I've never played this server before. I'm interested to see what it's like. Before all the action starts, I just want to say, like, genuinely thank you. I didn't think I'd ever have a YouTube channel with 10,000 subscribers, but here we are. And the last 2 videos have done really well. The like ratios on them are insane for me. So thanks for the continued support. If you like solo content, subscribe. I'll be doing this for a long time, I reckon. I really enjoy it. But for now, enough of that. Let's go straight inland and get this started down. I admire the attempt. These guys will chase me for like ever. There's like this wall of bow people that you have to get past to get to like any decent build spot. They pretty much chase me all the way back to the spawn beach. Come on, you timer. I need to get into fishing village or I'm done. This guy's scouting for him. Oh, it's done. Quick, get into safety. I just got chased 7 grids into a fishing village. If this is a sign of things to come on this server, by the end of day 8, I might actually be a corpse. Alright, round 2. Let's try and actually get into the snow and get a base down. But what have I run into? I want nothing to do with that. You know those Zergs I was talking about earlier? Well, there you go. Oh, nice. He had a nail gun. That'll come in handy. Alrighty, we've made it to the snow. We've gotten past the Bozergs. I'm going to quickly try and put this base down before it gets dark. My first objective was ticked off the list. Now, although I had a starter base, it was really weak and I needed to fortify it before I left to make my second starter base next to a fishing village. This was a little easier said than done though, as the big Zergs were also trying to put their starters down right next to me. It's like a horror film. It's a good jump scare. Right, we'll depot this stuff, and the plan is to get some sheet metal doors and possibly honeycomb a bunker, but we'll see how we go. I reckon this place will turn into chaos in the next hour or so. I want to get it done before that happens. Trying to get a start out here as a solo would be so scuffed. This map is really weird. This is like the only recycler on this side of the snow. So I need to get in and out as quick as possible because it's probably going to be held down pretty soon by a group. It begins. There goes my two bows. I've got no idea where they live. They all keep coming from over this hill. Alright, well there you go, that makes sense. This is where they're all coming from. I know a bit of a hopeless effort when I see it. They have control of this harbour, and I could smash my head against the wall for like an hour trying to recycle for a sheet metal door, but it's pointless. I might as well just bunker up what I have now. We've already got the base, it's exactly what we're here for, and then go start on that second farm base, which is where pretty much the next few days will take place from. I think it's a better use of time. Nice. Alrighty, I'm going to seal this up and then we're going to go look for a spot to put this fish farm. The issue is that the fishing villages on this map are in literal war zones, so this might be a bit of an experience, but once we get it down, it should just snowball the white because that's where pretty much all of the blueprints are going to come from. With the snow base starters sorted, it was time to turn my attention to the main base of this chapter, the fish farm. I was hoping that it was going to provide me with all the scrap I was going to need for this wipe, but as predicted, the fishing villages were war zones, and I was going to have to defend my farm from the prying eyes of scrap-hungry Zergs. I scouted out a nice spot, put a 1x1 down, and got started on creating my fish empire. Can't go wrong with the old gremlin 1x1. Just down in the waters, some nice build priv, and that's where the farm's gonna go. I'm gonna start getting stuff ready for that, and then we'll start building out this farm. Nice, we're set up. First things first is to get some sheet doors on this 1x1, get a furnace, and then play around this harbour. This harbour and the lighthouse behind me will be my lifeline for the next few days. And just on the other side of this harbour is a fishing village where I'll scuba dive, or submarine, and that's where I'll be selling my fish. Nice. This little monument I reckon slept on for solos. Good spot to get a start. You can get your crude, your low grade, you can dodge and weave between shipping containers to get away. It's good. was kind of hoping that that base down below me was abandoned, but there's a tugboat there and I can hear Tommy's. It's like right in front of my fish farm. They're probably going to be like the person that'll make my life the hardest while I try to start my fish empire. Alright, that was a bit easier to get a furnace down here than up in the actual snow. I'm going to get a bit more farm and then I'm going to try get objective 2 ticked off my first gun. How I get that, I don't know, but we'll see. Look at them, the enemy. I think there's like 3 or 4 down there at the moment. There could be more though, they do have a tugboat. And my fish farm's going pretty much right in front of their base, so I imagine we're going to have a nice little relationship. Might have to go introduce myself to them later. With a shotgun. Alrighty, it's going well. Abandoning the snow when I did was a good decision. I'd probably still be on a rock. Tried and true strategy. Eoka, nighttime, and a recycler. Oh, there's someone here. I've got a gun. Probably the worst one I could have got, but I have a gun. I had secured a gun, marking the second achievement off my list. I spent the next hour or so running around bowing people at harbour for decent loot and farming up nodes where I could in preparation to start the farm base. This wasn't going to be a small farm base, it needed to both be a fish farm, a normal farm, have a place for a submarine and also places to respawn from, because once I got the vending machine up selling teas, I was expecting regular visitors and not the nice ones, the ones with rocket launchers. Alrighty, I think we have enough to at least start the fish mansion. It's going to be multi-story, and just in front of me down there in that water is pretty much where it's going to go, somewhere on the edge of the build prep of that harbour. We'll put down a foundation, get the height right, and then we'll start building. You can see here on the map, the shallow area is pretty much where the farm's going to go. Then there's like a steep drop off, and I think if I get the foundations right, I can get a submarine base off the edge of the farm base. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, nice. I reckon this is it. Right height for the fish traps. I can drop a foundation, get a submarine base. Let's get building. The reason the ceilings are different heights is because this will be how I get into the fish farm. This is a stability bunker, and I'll kind of be able to jump over the top of it and then drop down through a hatch. It'll make sense as we go. Does in my head at least, anyway. Alright, nice. Bunker part's done. We'll honeycomb up the bunker and then we'll do the fish trap section. That's probably the first of many tugboats that's going to go past this base. Scrap's a commodity, obviously it's force wipe. They've probably written my coordinates down knowing that this will turn into a fish farm. And they might all come back and pay me a visit looking for my precious fish, which we can't let them have. Damn, I'm out of farm. I thought I had enough. Oh, I'm going to quickly go hit a few stone nodes while it's still dark, and then when the sun comes up, I'll just come out here and finish this off. Alright, nice, it's coming together. This will be the jump up to the actual farm. This is the fish farm. Out the back will be a submarine base. I planned this out in my head, not in a build server, and it's kind of gone mostly to plan. Which is surprising for me. Usually it just doesn't. We're up to the last part, putting in the fish traps. And I should be able to get 3 in a row. So 9 in total. Should. Nice, it's coming together. For those of you who haven't done a fish farm before, you can sell these to the vending machine at the fishing village. It's not insane scrap, but it's like passive income alongside other methods to get scrap, which I also need to start doing now that this is done. With the fish farm complete, another achievement was ticked off the list, with the next goal being a farm, but for that I needed some more scrap. And it would be a while before the fish farm would start generating me enough scrap to be worthwhile. While my fish farm was ticking away, I went back to the old way of getting scrap, killing people and recycling their loot. It's just kind of dawned on me the amount of loot I can probably get just submarining around that cargo as it docks and as it takes off. Sink some tugboats, you know, get a few zergs angry. He had some sort of gun on him. This might be a way to get a gun that isn't that crap tier 1 SMG. Don't know if he's got friends, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm going straight into the trash where I belong. Those 3 blueprints are massive. P2 grenade, smoke grenade, they're like huge for raid defense at this point in the game. I'm just going to sit in here and wait it out, and if he's got friends, hopefully they give up and I can get back to base. I am not going to risk it. It looks like there's a few looking for me. I'm getting straight back in the trash. I was only thinking to myself earlier, like, if someone tries to raid the farm, how am I going to defend her? I was like, I need smoke grenade and a grenade, but they're so far down the tech tree. This guy's just delivered them to me. If I get this back to base, we are good. It'd be a great win. Oh yes, this is massive. Smoke grenade, and then P2 is one of my favourite guns. Like, we can snowball hard off this. That's the sound of fish. Keeps getting better. I've got some blueprints I wanted, fish farms ticking along. We'll have the tech trees done in no time. I've heard this gun isn't the best, but I need something to protect myself when I go recycle. I don't have a tier 2 yet. I need to recycle to get one. So I'm going to research this, make one, and we'll go to the lighthouse and try and get this tier 2. What an absolute gremlin. It's something I would do. Progress. We're getting there. Should have a fresh batch of fish to sell soon as well. I managed to obtain some blueprints earlier than expected that were going to be crucial in a raid defense. The fish farm was bringing in results as well, and I was starting to stockpile up a large amount of fish. Once I'd sold that first batch of fish, I would have more than enough scrap to get the blueprints required to set up my farm. While I was using up the last of my bait, I went back to progression through PvP, as I was having a decent amount of luck with it, and I see no reason to stop. What? This thing does like no damage. I don't have a whole lot to lose, and there's a fight going on just up the hill. I might go check that out. God, I'm not a fan of this gun. Give me something else. That's big. He's got all the loot on him. I must have just come in right at the end. This is actually a nice change. I got 100 more scrap, got some more comps to recycle, a couple high caliber revolvers. I actually like that gun. It's going well. I think we'll go back for some more. Interesting. I guess the neighbors are all awake and back on. There you go. They've probably got that thing unlocked for a while now. It's starting to be a bit problematic. There's quite a few online. I might have to adapt a little. Yeah, wow, there's actually quite a few online now. Oh, they're actually trying to build like a boat base. That's in like a really, really bad spot. I think I just need to be like annoying and maybe hopefully convince them to move it further down the coast. I think they've like deleted the base. I just had my first run-in with my neighbours. They were trying to put a boat base down way too close to my farm, which I put a stop to. I was trying to send the message that the coast was a no-go zone, but I needed a better gun than my tier 1 SMG to defend both myself and my base with. So I put a tier 2 down, researched my P2, but before using it, I had my first batch of fish to sell. Righty, we have some fish to sell. I actually don't know how much I have worth in scrap. I think maybe 1,000? We'll go dive over there, sell it, come back, and then we'll go down the tier 2 tech tree. Might need a bit more scrap from some stuff I need to recycle, but I reckon we'll be good. We'll have everything we need for this farm. Okay, maybe not 1,000 scrap, but definitely a fair bit. And with this trout and the bear meat, we'll get some more. I can recycle at the lighthouse as well. And with all of that scrap, I reckon we have more than enough. Probably be able to research a few guns down the tech tree as well. That took a little longer than I thought. It's like 7-minute dive, but with the sub or that new dive propulsion thing, this trip should be like 2-3 minutes max. That's honestly not too bad. 660 scrap for doing literally nothing. I'll take it. The current focus is the farm, but when I was in that fishing village, I almost bought a submarine. I'm getting a little bloodthirsty, you know, I need to go out and sink like a Zerg tugboat so I can like sleep well at night. I think we'll get one soon, to be honest, to start submarining the 7 seas. Nice. Progress. Now the farm stuff. Alrighty, it's going quite well. I pretty much have everything I need for the farm. I'll do a quick recycle, probably off camera, just to get the last like 100 scrap for the panel. And then a quick farm run to get some stone, and I reckon will be good to actually make this farm. But also, more importantly, I need to make the sub base, because I need to sink tugboats. That's what I'm here at, it's my purpose in life. That's massive. Sarah and Tommy, if I can get it back, we're winning. Did I just get them both? I actually got them both. These guns are huge for progression. Progress is going well. I reckon I just got 2 of the most important blueprints on the tier 2 tech tree. I'm going to depot it and run up to my little 1x1, grab the farm I stashed there, and then I think we should have enough to start actually building out the farm and the sub base. Sit down. Progression through PvP was really starting to pay off. I was getting some much needed mid-game blueprints and making solid progression towards my next 2 objectives, building a farm and completing the tech trees. I started to plan out the farm and sub-base expansions, and while everything had been going well so far, I was about to face my biggest test yet, where everything was on the line. I'm going to come clean here and say that I am completely winging this base. They're the fun ones to build. I have a rough idea in my head how it was going to work out, and I do think I found a way to get a 2-floor high farm, which we're going to do now, and then also the sub base. But it's not just about selling teas and being a rat in a submarine. They will have an end goal. I'm eventually going to move to the deep snow, roughly around where I put that snow starter base, and there's going to be massive zergs out there, so when it comes time to build my base, I need to build it quickly, and the best way to do that is with teas. And then I'm going to submarine over there and move all of my loot. So there's purpose to this, but the goal is to eventually get a lot of teas for that move. So let's get on it. I need to get this farm done. Alrighty, have a look at it. It's starting to come together. It's actually kind of worked out alright, even though I'll wing the hell out of this base. Got the sub room now. We've got this first farm room. I'll do the one above when I get more plots. But we need berries. I might go for a run through the forest, grab some berries and start cloning. This base is actually kind of cool at night with the lighting and the water in the down below area with the sunset. I like the vibe. It's kind of like twistedly cozy. But we'll get through this cloning process. I'll probably do it off camera. It's quite boring, but eventually I'll have some gold clones. What is that noise? It's not cargo, it's too far away. Oh, it's a tugboat. Quick, stash the fish. Well, that was a good guess. There's really only one reason you drive a tugboat up to someone else's base. Oh wow, they went through the bunker and everything. I had like 2 guns, there was no way I was winning that, but they've desecrated my precious farm. Just after I built it as well. I need to go check if the fish are okay, that's all that matters. Oh, that's big. Okay, they didn't get the most important stuff. This whole point of this base is for the fish, and I've got the fish. That is at least a win. I do need to fix this base up though. While I had been raided, the setback, if anything, was minimal. It was unlikely I was going to win that with 1 respawn point and 2 guns, but due to some quick thinking, I'd hid most of my important loot behind a garage door, and I'd also used pretty much all of my scrap. Earlier in the day, I chucked an external TC up, which actually ended up saving my base. I fixed my base up, and by doing so ticked 1 more achievement off my list, leaving only 1 more left for this chapter, completing the tech trees. While tugboats were a huge strength for a group at this point in the wipe, they were also their biggest weakness, and I knew exactly how to exploit it, and I now had 1 on my radar. The goal for the rest of the day was to try and complete the tech trees, make enough Ts for my big move, and then try and secure some endgame blueprints for when I eventually move into the deep snow to build my main base. That was too close for comfort. I almost lost all of my fish, and there's quite a bit there, like at least 2,000 scrap worth of fish maybe, or close to, and that'll get me most of the tier 2 tech tree. There'll be a few little items I'll have to get, but for the most part it'll be done, and then it's just a matter of the tier 3, and then we can move to the deep snow. But I'm also going to buy a submarine, because I'm going to get up to no good around here. I built the base, I need to get one, and the plan is to just smash out these tech trees by sinking tugboats, PvPing, whatever else comes up, that's the plan. What? That is one of the most random kills I've ever had. He must have just been sitting on ore rig for ages with the like high respawn rates. I've been getting so many guns PvPing in this area, like it's normally not the case for me. Normally I just get overrun by people, but I ain't complaining. I don't have to make any for a change. I'm going to recycle everything I've gotten today, and then I'm going to sell the last of my fish, and then we're going down that tier 2 tech tree. I'm actually really happy with how this wipe's gone so far, and this day. I've made insane progress, and look at that sunset. You can't argue with a good Rust sunset. It's going well. I had made a lot of progress in a short amount of time. I sold the last 2 loads of fish, got a submarine, ran train tunnels a couple times, and liquidated almost every component I had, and was now sitting on a serious pile of scrap. I went down and obtained every blueprint I would need from the tier 2 and tier 1 tech trees, and was now in the home stretch of scrap farming. While my fish farm and normal farm were ticking away behind the scenes, I took the submarine out for its first spin. I come across a massive merge raid where the 50 plus deep Chinese Zerg BT was getting raided. I smelt a wipe changing opportunity and waited patiently to make my move. There is a massive raid going out here. I've just driven past Fishing Village, past 2 tugboats, but this is that huge Chinese Zerg. Like, I don't know who would try and raid them. They're deep as hell, but we could potentially sink a tugboat as they leave, full of raid supplies possibly. Well, I'll go have a look. My FPS is probably about to go to 0, but we'll see. Oh my god, my FPS. And I have a pretty good computer, but look at that base. Target acquired. I don't know what's going on. I could hear boom when I was driving in, but I think someone's raided that tugboat and they're trying to push it out. It's definitely got to sink now, and I don't know where that AK is shooting me from. He just C4'd the sub. Oh my god, it's another submarine. My jackhammer's almost broken, and he can torpedo when you. I need to like go get that spear gun ammo quickly and deal with this sub. The statue went off, I got the sub. This is all mine. Just wow. I don't know how I survived that. Like, there's like 20 different instances where I could have died then. At the time, I thought this was going to be a bittersweet moment, that I'd reached the peak of this wipe before I'd even got to the end of it. But there are moments later in this video that even eclipse the sinking of this tugboat. This wipe was just warming up. The tugboat wasn't that loaded, but it had a lot of tier 2 guns that were going to be crucial in defending and assisting with progression when it came eventually time to move to the snow. I'd only one goal left, finished the tier 3 tech tree, and then out of nowhere I received a blessing from the rust gods in the form of a grub. I've just chucked a shooting floor on this base and then metaled up some ceilings. After sinking that tugboat, there might be a few people around here looking for me, and if they do find me, I want to be able to at least defend it. Just finished chucking up some auto turrets and doing the last of the defenses, and my neighbour's farm's getting raided. I haven't seen her for a while. To be honest, I haven't really been in my base, but it's interesting. It's very close to me. Hang on, that's massive for me. The grubs and the worms, that's all the bait I need for my fish traps. There'd be like 3,000-4,000 scrap maybe worth of bait there. That's actually made my day. I don't have to farm as much anymore. Alrighty, I've kind of just been half AFK tending to my crops upstairs at my fish farm. with the grubs and the worms I got, and I reckon I have a batch to sell. And I've always wanted to try this little diving thing. Go sell a batch of fish and see how much quicker it is. This thing's actually pretty cool. But to be honest, I think we're almost pretty much done with the tech trees. A few more inventories of fish. I'm growing crops back at base, making teas, getting boxes ready. I think it's almost time to go look for where this main base is going to go. This fish base thing was such a good idea. I haven't built one before. Zero regrets. Damn it, the fishing and recycling's almost gotten us there. We're not far away now. With all this, it should get me to about 10 ore teas and like 4 or 5 wood teas, which should be more than enough, to be honest, for the move. I let the fish farm do its work, but I got impatient, went down the train tunnels, and within a few hours, I had enough scrap to finish the tier 3 tech tree. This marked another achievement off the list, including the completion of chapter 1. I ran around the base making teas, setting up a raid detection circuit for when I was on the other side of the map, did a lot of farming in preparation to build the shell of the main base somewhere in the snow, and then mentally locked in. While this area had been full of action, I wasn't regularly running into zergs, but the second I got to the snow, that would change. I needed to be on my A game. It was going to be sink or swim, with my base potentially being raided multiple times over before it's even finished. And if this wasn't an omen, I don't know what is. I spawned in and noticed my snow starter bunker had been raided during the day. I didn't even have a staging point in the snow anymore, which meant getting a start on ticking off my objectives was going to be that much harder. I've been spawning in on this bag, doing laps in the snow trying to find something, but every time I spawn in I get shot. It's like war zone out here. But I think I've found a nice little spot. There seems to be some big Zerg base that has been raided, and it's in the process of decaying, but just south of it on the coastline is a nice little peninsula. I think I can get a base down there. I think that's the play. I reckon we'll send it with a submarine. I'll at least just put like a sub base there for now, and then we'll assess the situation. But that's looking like the play. 20,000 deaths later to suppressed AKs, but we've made it somewhere remotely near where I want to put this base. See that little peninsula out there? I reckon that is perfect. It'll be just enough room for my base, so I might have to build into the river a bit. But I can submarine up and put a sub base just on the edge of that peninsula and then get started. I should get a bit of protection because there's a big cliff to the side of me, and that should cover me for like an hour or so while I try and get at least the shell up. There's a lake there too. I can get a farm. I can get access to the ocean. I think that's the spot. Alright, it's almost time for the big move. I found my spot. I've got enough stuff on me to build a sub base. I'll drive over, put the sub base down, and then do a bunch of laps back and forth running all my loot, which will probably take an hour or so with the distance I have to drive in this submarine. And then once it's all inside the sub base, I'll smash the base out as quick as possible. There's kind of like a small window of vulnerability where I'll have the core up, no turrets or a shooting floor, and if anyone catches me at that point in the build, they will 100% raid me. So I need to be as undetectable as possible and as quick as possible, and there's no breaks from here on out until I have like a full base. Genius sold me, forgot to turn the recording on, but we've got like 5 foundations and a bunch of walls down. I'll build this thing out, we'll put some bags down, and then we'll go back and get the rest and get started on the base. Alright, it's pretty much done. I'm just going to put some boxes down, and then we'll start doing loot runs. It'll take a fair while, but I need to be as low profile as possible, bring no attention to this thing, approach from completely being submerged, and then just lock in and build the main base and hope I don't get spotted, because I'll probably be raided straight away if I do. It's finally happening. The fish base has served me well. This is the first load. We've probably got about 5 or 6 of these to do, and then it's base time. Oh no, a rib's just driven past up the lake. I have been playing these Zerg servers for a long time now, and I knew that even though it was only a rib driving past the base, the fact that they seen a new base at all meant that they might consider raiding it. My entire wipe was stored inside this boat base. I couldn't risk losing it without at least placing the footprint down of my new base. It had been days in the making, but it was time to try and build the main base. This base has evolved over the course of about a year. Every time it gets raided, I modify something, and I get a lot of comments on my videos asking for a tutorial for this base. There is no tutorial, but if you go on my channel, there's an older version of it, and I'll also, right now, I'll make a deal. 1 like and a comment saying thanks for the code. I'll put the build code on my screen for you right now about how to build this base. If you take that old video and this build code and put them together, you should be good. But also, I need to build this base, and I need to do it quick, so let's get on that. This part's very situational, but sometimes I'll put temporary turrets up to protect the build if I know the area is just chaos. And I've seen how deep the Zergs are on this server, so I'm probably going to need them. It's going well for the most part, except I did get scouted really early, and if he's a part of a group, they could come hit me when I'm not able to defend it. But if I do get my compound turrets up, that at least will be a deterrence. My raid detection circuit just went off on my phone at the farm. Oh, I really don't want to have to leave this base, but I'm going to have to. Yeah, I can hear footsteps running around. I'm pretty sure I left my shooting floor auto turret, but this is the only kit I left in this base, so we've really only got one shot at this. What a rat. Lucky I took the Tommy kit out of here. He's been making health teas with my berries. I don't like shining light on cheating, but the guys I've been living next to are blatant as hell, and I'll probably cut a lot of my dealings out with them. But I reckon the second I've moved, their little ESP said he's not there anymore. They've gone to raid me. Now they're running away knowing I'm still here. Classic. I had successfully fended off a raid attempt on my farm, coincidentally not too long after I'd left it. My main base was super vulnerable and I'd already been discovered. Priority number one was to get that core layout done, or I was probably going to have back-to-back raid defenses. I've been away for a bit, so I need to get a couple auto turrets down just to defend the base in case someone tries to raid it. Honestly, most of it's done. I just need to do the outer peaks and the roof, which we'll pretty much do now. This change pretty much made the base go from like, yeah, it's alright, to like really, really good in defending online raids against bigger groups. I put the guard huts at the top of this, and that's where you respawn from, and you can throw grenades down on a safe angle and pretty much blow raiders up. Whereas before, this was down in the compound, and once they got control of the roof, it was all over. Alright, the shell's pretty much done after these auto turrets go down. I was collecting cameras and laptops the whole wipe because they're so hard to get these days. But with this, and I've got 3 kits, I think we're in a position to maybe defend a small raid, but we still need a lot of work to be done on this base. Well, that's concerning. I've just done the turrets and I was about to do a lap to show the progress so far, and that's awfully close. Do you see what I mean? If I hadn't have built this base up like I did in the 40 or so minutes, we would probably be in that guy's situation. These Zergs are so territorial, and they'll raid anything when it's at its most vulnerable point. You know, it's like free loot in their heads. But because we've got it to the state it's in now, we might have deterred it a little bit. It's not to say nothing's going to come soon, but this base isn't really in a position just yet to be defending any big raids, and I think that's the priority. We need to get this base sorted ASAP. I just had a taste of what was potentially to come. I was now living in Zerg-infested snow, but it wasn't all ominous. I just ticked the first achievement off my list for Chapter 2, building the core footprint of my main base. I still felt it was too vulnerable, so my goal over the next few hours was to scout around the area for intel and also continue work on the main base. Let's go have a look at this raid. I'll write that name down. I'm going to keep a bit of a log on like who's playing with who. This is the base so far. The good thing about a longer wipe is you passively get laptops and cameras, so auto turrets aren't an issue, whereas they are always a freaking pain in my side, but not this time. But this base is still pretty weak. We need to get some farm to honeycomb it, and also I need a bit of intel. I haven't even gone for a run. I need to know who's where and who's doing what. Maybe pick off a Zerg farmer in the process, so I don't have to farm as much. I still have quite a few teas, but I don't think it'll be long before they run out, and I did bring my clones with me, so I'm going to quickly do the farm here, so I don't have to drive across the map all the time in that submarine because it chews up low grade, which I need for rockets. Jigs up. I don't think it's a question of when I'm going to get raided, it's how many times I'm going to get raided. Oh, look at it. It looks awesome. There is an objective to bedazzle this base, and this is not it. You wait till later, but it looks really cozy, you know, weirdly, in the snow. Maybe for not much longer, but it's a start. I started to honeycomb the base, but I didn't have the farm to finish it. Instead of farming for it, I wanted to pick off a few Zerg farmers. I still needed quite a bit of metal, and that was going to be the easiest way to get it. I made a few more raid defense kits, planted my seeds, got scouted again, and then headed out for my first adventure. At some point there was a big base here, and they've been raided. Now that's a good thing because I can build here, but also a bad thing because someone's raiding people in this area. I haven't come across like a huge Zerg yet, but there's definitely one out here somewhere. Oh, please be at the end of your farm run. Oh my god. I swear there's a backpack around here somewhere too. Oh my god, this dude literally didn't have a spare inventory slot. And he's got no stone. That's everything I need for this base. That's what I like about it. Just kill a Zerg farm and don't do it yourself. Still got to get the stuff from the farm box. That is insane. That's like a box and a half of farm plus what I put in the furnaces and what I had on me. They definitely know where I exist now. King Grub, the name, very fitting. I might be able to smash 2 objectives out almost at once. I didn't expect to get that much metal off a single guy. It's pretty much mostly smelted now. I've got 6 furnaces downstairs. I'm going to just fortify this whole base up and then we'll go from there. If you really wanted to, you could make these walls for the extra protection, but I am not in the business of farming all that out. So chainmail fences will have to do. I didn't think that we'd be getting here that quick, but the base is pretty much done. All I gotta do is build the open core out some more. It's fully fortified, it's got its turrets, the farm, some automation. That kill on that Zerg farmer changed everything. It accelerated this process tenfold. I do have a lot of sulfur left as well now, and the last objective in this chapter is to do a raid, so I think I'll do that. I had managed to smash 2 objectives out within the hour, complete the base utilities, the farm, automation, auto smelting, and then finally fortifying it. The only kill I had in the snow was one of the biggest impact ones on this entire wipe. It accelerated my progress through this chapter quicker than I expected. All that was left for chapter 2 was a raid, and I had more than enough sulfur for one. The raid wasn't just for loot, but it was also to test the reactions of the groups around me to see who was ready to run out and counter raids. You see, I had an entirely different plan for chapter 3 that involved big raids and all sorts of other stuff, and this raid was meant to be the start of that. But then everything goes out the window, and I face one of my toughest rust challenges yet. Alright, it's time to send a raid. Later in this wipe I plan to do some like big raids, 50, 60 rocket raids, similar to what I was doing in my last video. But we're going to ease into it. I ran past a farm base earlier, just a simple 4 rocket raid. It could be juiced and we might be able to snowball off of it, but that's the plan, to warm the little launcher up before we go sending 50 rockets at someone out in the snow. Ooh, yes, it is the actual farm base that's being used. Seven Ortiz. Alright, this is actually like a Zerg farm base. With the last objective of chapter 2 completed, I was expecting this moment to be the start of the 3rd chapter, but then something happens I did not expect that changes the course of this entire wipe. I keep hearing shots out here, they just don't stop. Wait, what is that base? The one rendering in? That was not there before. Oh my god, I know exactly who these guys are. There's a lot of them. I know for a fact that these guys play 25 plus deep. That's just the tag members alone. Hello neighbours. This is gonna be painful. My new neighbours were a 25 man plus deep Chinese Zerg and we could see each other's base. I've lived next to some Zergs before, but not one this big and that close. I knew that we'd eventually be staring at each other down the barrel, and it was only a matter of time before they started bolting me from their roof. Chapter 3 now only had one objective: win the inevitable war. I have a bit of a plan in my head about how to get one over these guys. It's risky and it takes a lot of annoying, but it might actually work. And I don't know about you guys, but the Chinese Zergs I've lived next to, they're very territorial and they do not discriminate. So to get this plan underway, I'm going to attack first and we'll see what happens. I've never seen someone run so quick for their base in their life. That was probably the only time I could go AFK. I've been gone for about 3 hours. I wanted to smash some stuff out. They weren't going to raid me while they were building, but let's go check on their progress, shall we? Jesus. Look at the situation I'm in. That L9 on his roof has not stopped going since I got back. I have an idea. How many did I just kill? Damn, I only got one. I'm probably not going to be able to get away with this again, because that L9 is just going to swing right around and watch my base for like the next hour. Comment on the video how you think this is going to end. Our relationship was off to a good start. I've been reading the SCA Discord and DM'd a couple Australian clans on this server about why this Chinese Zerg moved to the snow in the first place. They had originally lived in the desert, but once they cleared all the bases out of that area, they moved to the deep snow. And I was also told a concerning fact, which to be honest doesn't surprise me, but these Australian clans were certain that one of these JBD clan members was cheating, which made things a whole lot harder, but also removed any sympathy I had for them for the things I was about to do to them. This is my farming area, thank you very much. I don't know if these guys are a part of them. If they are, they're untagged and that just adds to the numbers, but this is right next to the Zerg base. It's like a Chinese Slender Man. There's the old SCA ping for you. I have no idea whose base that is or what is going on there. Wow, there's 21 tagged members now. It's not counting the ones not tagged. That's, there's probably more than 25 of them, to be honest. And look at the speed at which that base is progressing. Oh, it's not, this will be interesting. The list of Zerg members keeps growing. They moved from the desert because they raided everyone and were likely going to do the same thing in the snow. I knew I was on their list, but I was unsure how far up I would be at this point, and my guess was that they would try and remove the bigger threats first, and then come for me. I started following them around to get intel on how they played, what times they raided, do they farm solo or in small groups, what's the most common paths they take. I was essentially looking for something that I could exploit. Zergs of like this size get really overconfident, they make stupid mistakes. I'm going to study them like it's a military operation and find ways to exploit the things that they do wrong. Like if they run out on their own, I'll be sitting there behind a bush ready. There's not much of a safety zone around my base anymore. Jesus, I still don't know what the go is with these guys, if they're just untagged Zerg members in a farm base or what, but they're all just sitting up on this cliff like keeping me trapped to that little peninsula. Wrong place, wrong time. I need to bolt people around this area to create an exclusion zone. I get contained like that, but I'll go down and see what they had on them. Oh wow, they were full moving base. Well, they've picked an interesting spot to try and move to. That is a serious case of wrong place, wrong time. I've been following a couple of the Zerg guys. Look at that, they farm in pairs. If I kill them too close to their base, they'll just run out with like 5 full AK kits. But if they get too far away like they are now, in a pair, I might be able to pick a couple off. This player Boogie is in fact an untagged clan member, which I confirm later in this wipe, but it goes to show there were more guys in this Zerg than just the ones that were tagged up. I built a tower on my external to get better vision of their base and to track their movements easier, and as expected, I found some things I thought I could exploit. This guy's been standing here for like 5 minutes with a launcher on his back at the tugboat. I might go swim over and kill him if he's still there. Freaking face punch. He's bugged out. That's a Susu member. That could be an actual legitimate Susu player. Which means, like I said, there's more guys a part of this Zerg that just aren't tagged up. I'm starting to notice a trend here. This tower gives me vision of like that side of their base, and they don't come over the hill anymore. I don't really blame them. I've been shooting at it with a bolty. But they go down the safe side defilade of it, and they go out with jackhammers and full kits. I reckon if I just sit somewhere around that area with a suppressed AK or Tommy and just wait, I might be able to pick one off. Where did he sneak off to? There's one over there, but he's a Hazzy. It's not the one I want. I want the guy with the full kit. Read them like a book. It's all about patience when you're Zerg hunting. Just gotta sit behind a trash pile for like 10 minutes and wait. Oh, that's funny. I really need to build a bridge here. They want their kit back. They're gonna have to come get it if they want it. I was certainly starting to become a nuisance to them, and they were taking more and more interest in my base. And if they did come pay me a visit with a bunch of rockets, I at least wanted to show them my artistic side. This is gonna be like one of the more on the spectrum things I've ever done, but behold. Look down the barrel of their scope, that's what they're gonna see, that sign. That belongs in the Australian Art Museum.
I'm annoying. I'm annoying. I'm annoying. I'm annoying. I'm annoying.
Could you just imagine them like sitting in a breach listening to that while they're trying to raid me? Oh, shit. It's all fun and games till someone gets hurt, and then it's really hilarious.
I'm annoying. I'm annoying. I'm annoying.
Ooh, this is interesting. They might have started raiding. I need to go get a name. If they've started raiding, it should be an interesting day. Oh, it is them. Interesting. They're probably going to do what they did in the desert and just clear everyone out of this area. It's only been about an hour, but they raided that base next to the supermarket. It looked like it was only just getting started and it wasn't that strong. But if this is them raiding again, it's a lot bigger raid. Then it confirms my suspicion that they're probably just going to clear all the big bases out and then just work their way down the threat list. Yep, it's them. That base they are raiding is a massive cave base, and that tower that they were shooting rockets at isn't a raid base, that's actually the tower the group's built to look down into the cave, and they're trying to get control of it. But they were kind of a bit oblivious and it was going dark, so I'm going to take over like some night vision suppressed AK, and I might be able to pick off a couple stragglers, get some rockets possibly, or just tank the raid. That's unlikely, there's a lot of them, but we'll give it a go. What is going on? There's like 6 people in front of me. I'm so screwed. I'm wedged between the Zerg, the counters, and then the re-kits from the Zerg base. I don't know who's who. I had walked right into the middle of a team countering JBD. Thankfully, I didn't mess up the counters too bad, I only killed one of them, and I'd managed to walk by accident right back into the middle of JBD re-kitting, coming back to the raid. I thought JBD lost this raid, but never underestimate the strength of 25 people. What are they doing? Actually, the guy in the mini, you just fly over a Zerg. Oh, they were regrouping. They're going to go back for round 2. There's even guys still coming out of the base. There are so many of them. I think the cave guys are done. I'll come back in a bit and see how it's going. I can't really do much to stop any of this. There's just too many of them. I do have a little idea. I really don't know how this is going to go, but I might be able to get a couple of them going back for rekits. They won't be able to recommit everyone to come back to deal with this because they're in the raid. This could go really well or really bad. Well, you don't know till you try, do you? That went a lot different in my head. You know, you win some, you lose some. It's worth a shot. I've got to be near the top of that list. Alright, they've definitely won this raid. They're slamming the cave, and like, that base would be so loaded. This base has been here longer than me. I don't know what they're doing, scouting or I don't know, but they've been coming and going in cars, and I need them to come back. I've got to show them something. Oh, I love this stuff. I must say, that's a work of art. I'm not just mindlessly griefing these guys, there is a plan, there's some method to this madness. Don't want to spoil it though. And also, that JBD number guy, he's got like 9, I'm pretty sure that those Aussie clans were correct. That dude is toggling ESP if I've ever seen it. Damn, I was hoping they'd leave their SAM sights on. I could just keep flying away, baiting them forever. So far, they've been preoccupied with the bigger groups around them, and if it weren't for them, I'd likely be the target of 25 angry Chinese people. Now, I don't like rewarding cheating gameplay by giving it much limelight, but I'd run into more cheaters this wipe than ever before, and I completely agree with the intel I got from the clans that one of these JBD guys was ESPing at minimum. I was certainly on their radar at this point, but I noticed something that I could really exploit that would tip them over the edge. Just spent a bit of time doing some automation inside the core. It's looking nice, like industrial vibes, but once the sun's up, I think it's time we go back out Zerg hunting. Freest AKs ever. Marking this one. This is like a prime wait for the Zerg spot. It's like cover in every direction. It's the same one. They never learn. They just keep running through here. I just keep picking them off. Yes, come this way. These are the freest guns of my life. They travel in packs now, they don't run through that area alone. Oh god, it's funny. I suppose it's only fair, they get to look at my neon sign all day. I get to look at their clan tag. Oh, they're leaving somewhere, this is perfect timing. I'm gonna go shoot their sign down. Damn. Oh my god. Amateurs! Oh, I'm gonna have some fun with this. It's my sign now. I mean, there's only one reasonable thing to do in this situation, and that's to bring a bolty over and just bolt them from their own sign and see how long it lasts. Oh, do you hear that? That's where they went. They've gone to raid someone. They're going to come back to a little surprise. I now had control of the Zerg's tag sign, and I was certain at this point that this was going to push them over the edge. You see, desecrating a sacred clan sign is how you get a one-way ticket back to the spawn beach. Well, we'll do a bit of remodeling, and then when they're back, they'll be in for a surprise. I never thought in a million years I'd be bolting a Zerg from their own tag sign. It's definitely a first for me. He had to do a double take for a second, like he's in disbelief. They speak. I think they're raiding it. Yup, that didn't take long. Their clan tag sign originally spelt JBD, but now spelt out oil. They had just sent a raid, and my guess is, after that forced clan rebranding, that I was likely next. Well, that's a bad omen if I've ever seen one. I've defended raids against Zergs before, but 25, that is a tall order. I think, I've done like 12 to 15, but we'll see what happens. When the sun goes up, I'm pretty much just going to go AFK in that spot I'd been sitting in, jumping in with the AK, and kind of just watch them for like the next few hours. I've pretty much just been sitting here, AFK, doing editing on the other screen. If they don't send a raid in the next few hours, I'm probably going to go do one myself. Oh, we've got movement. Oh my god, we got a lot of movement. Are they raiding me? Well, maybe not. Looks like they're going to the tugboat. Hang on. There's no tugboat. I think they are actually raiding me. That peninsula goes straight to my base. Look how many of them there are. Alright, time to lock in. Oh, it's actually happening. Alright, I'm not going to be able to peek that fob. There's going to be like 10 Chinese people with M2s watching me. Get a cheeky little peek in before windows get up on that fob. My only chance of winning this is grenade kills, get them on timer and delay long enough for another big group around here to counter. Can't even expose myself for a second, just get sprayed. Where was that even from? I can't even jump spot it. It's a death wish peeking now. I must say they got very good reaction time. Oh, so you do speak English. I have some things to censor. This is a bit too intense to talk. You have to bear with me. How do you seal against that? This has been insane. I've got 2 kits left, but I'm pretty sure my little plan worked. Do I even open this door to look? This is my last kit and I've saved it. We just need the sun to go down, like, quickly. This wasn't a part of the original plan, but it certainly helps. There's an Aussie clan like 10 or so grids north of me. They've messaged me and said they're going to come over and try to slam this fob. It's going to buy me time to get away with my treasure, and we'll see if it works. I've kind of got a little plan. You know, I'm like a fan of Tesla's videos, and there's one where he uses a vault under the iceberg to stow away the rockets. I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to get an autocrafter to make me rockets that I'll use if these guys don't raid me, and I'll just put them in a vending machine. It'll be an extra cherry on top to entice them to raid me, and then when they do raid me, I'll just hit an eject button and it'll pump the rockets out into the boat base, and then I'll just run away with them. It's a pretty risky plan. I don't know if it'll work, but let's give it a go. Rockets on him. I had managed to pull off the escape plan. I believe you should be rewarded if you online people, but I was certain these guys were cheating, and the toxicity at the end removed any remorse I had. The criteria for winning a war is subjective, but I took a lot of AK kits off them, stole their clan sign, then baited them into using I don't know how many rockets, all for nothing. I would say that that is a win in my books. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed.